Satellites. There are buildings full of satellite receivers. But why aren't they pointing straight up to the sky? If satellites are 99 to 35,000 miles in space. Satellites fly with a speed of 70,000 miles per hour around the planet. And how does the technician know which one to aim for with a stationary satellite receiver? This is the picture we are given of the millions of satellites and space junk flying around the Earth. And because there are so many, satellites are crashing to Earth all the time. In the media there are also continuous reports of satellites crashing down. It's a huge problem that is going to cost a lot of money. Since I was getting very worried about this huge problem, I've started looking for the constant stream of crashes. But I found out that satellite crashes are very rare. I couldn't find one real one on the internet. But I did find a lot of CGI pictures. Beautiful impressions. This one is the best. Nice. I found this real picture, but this could be anything. But this one is nice. But when zoomed in, it's a drawing in a game. Fake. And look at this one. Take your time. Fake. And this one came down in India. Laid gently down. Nothing damaged. Fake. And this one was also not very damaged, because it was attached to a balloon. Fake. But then I found this one. This is real. And again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And finally I found this one. You can make your own satellite disasters with it. Isn't that fun? So I asked my good friend Bas from the Damascus Street in the Netherlands to make some more. So what are these big boys aiming for? Well, definitely up in the air. So what's in the air? Yes, it's true. NASA has balloons too. And they are using it to study space. And they are as big as a football stadium.
Did you know that NASA has hundreds of these satellite balloons up in the air right now? I never knew these NASA satellites existed before Flat Earth. Have you seen them? Google and many other companies have fleets of these balloons as well. Look up Project Loon. The whitewash of these balloon satellites is evidence that they are lying about space satellites. These high-altitude balloons can carry 8,000 pounds and include telescopes, radar equipment, communications equipment, internet, etc. Here's one that almost killed some people.
Became a high-speed projectile. Unexpected strong winds pushed the 2-ton platform of scientific instruments off course and onto a path of destruction. Justin Trotter's car was tipped over. He can be seen here running for his life. The Glad-wrap thin, giant balloon came down in a nearby field and will be thrown away. The balloons are launched into the stratosphere carrying cutting-edge telescopes that help give astronomers and scientists a much clearer view of space. Organisers say they are relieved no one was hurt.
Of sci-fi hitting home for a Michigan couple when a satellite crash-landed in their backyard, and their reaction? Priceless.
Never know what's going to happen. This baby fell out of the sky and landed in our yard.
Nancy and Dan Welke, cool as cucumbers, discovering a satellite that had crash landed on their property, still blinking and still attached to a parachute.
All you got to do is do a little bit of research. These satellites come crashing down all the time in different countries. Here's another one in Brazil. Check it out.
É grande essa porra, viu?
many satellites are orbiting Earth, it's going to tell you 10,019 active satellites in orbit in 2024. And here are the images that they give you of all these satellites that are supposedly orbiting the Earth. But yet, when we watch your bullcrap NASA spacewalks, we never see not one single satellite orbiting the so-called globe Earth from these spacewalks.
It's not that they wouldn't use the magical floating satellites if they could, it's that they don't physically exist, nor does the globe. They have been sending these up one at a time since it all began. I will allow them to explain it.
The reason for superpressure ballooning is they have absolutely stable altitude, day, night, and it doesn't matter how cold the atmosphere is. They are sealed.
So your shape is always the same, you always displace the same amount of air, and therefore you have the same amount of buoyancy all the time.
NASA's been using balloons for science research for over 30 years. The exploration that can be done on balloons is continuing to grow. The standard balloon that I fly is about 660 feet long when it's made. So when it's inflated, it's over 400 feet tall by 440 feet wide. Think of a dome stadium. That's how big my balloons are.
So let me get this straight. It is now public knowledge that they send up satellites on massive helium-filled balloons. As you should know, NASA is the largest consumer of helium in the world, for obvious reasons. But the issue with society is that they never critically think. Just think for a second here. The fact of the matter is everything NASA sends up on a balloon simply hovers above our motionless Earth. That is why they rarely speak about orbiting satellites.
By the way, have you ever heard of Professor Auguste Piccard? He was a real hero. In 1931, he took off with a balloon and they eventually reached an altitude of 37 kilometers. They described the sky as extremely blue and rich of ozone. Furthermore, radio waves are bent by this gas. So maybe it would be enough to bounce radio signals off the dome to receive them further away in the world. In that case, satellites would indeed not need to exist. Through the windows he saw the Earth first through a copper-colored and then to a blue hue. The Earth seemed like a flat disk with an upright rim. And then on 15 miles in height appeared in the sky a deep blue color. And here a statement about the world from Nikola Tesla. Earth is a realm. It's not a planet, it's not an object. Therefore, it has no edge. Earth would be more easily defined as a system environment. Earth is also a machine. It's a Tesla coil. The sun and moon are powered wirelessly with the electromagnetic field, the ether. Electromagnetic levitation disproves gravity, because the only force you need to counter is the electromagnetic force, not gravity. The stars are attached to the firmament. What more do you need to know? Thank you so much for watching this video. And maybe see you at the next one. Bye bye.